Welcome back to the Forum in Montreal, a sudden death semi-final game. Canada 3-0-2 in round-robin play against Czechoslovakia, a team that won 2, lost 2, and tied 1. And in the previous meeting, a 4-4 tie between these two teams. The team that wins tonight plays the Soviet Union in a best-of-3 Canada Cup final. Let's go to the ice surface and our pre-game ceremonies.
Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Bienvenue au Forum de Montréal. Et c'est avec fierté que la brasserie Labatt et Hockey Canada vous présente la Coupe Canada Labatt 1987. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Montreal Forum as Labatt Breweries and Hockey Canada proudly present this 1987 Labatt's Canada Cup. Voici maintenant les officiels pour le match de ce soir. Here are the officials for tonight's game. They're all from the United States. Ils sont tous des États-Unis. L'arbitre, your referee, Mr. Mike Nowat. Les juges de ligne, the linesman, Mr. Kevin Collins and Mr. Gord Brossiker. Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant l'alignement débutant pour l'équipe de la Tchécoslovaquie. Here is the Team Czechoslovakia starting lineup. Dans les buts, in goals, le numéro 2, number 2, Dominic Hacek. À la défense, on defense, le numéro 9, number 9, Yaroslav Benak. Le numéro 28, number 28, Wojimir Bolchik. À l'aile gauche, at left wing, Iri Dolezal. À l'aile droite, at right wing, le numéro 19, number 19, David Volek. Et au centre, at center, le numéro 24, number 24, Iri Orinda. Et maintenant pour l'équipe Canada. And now for Team Canada. Dans les filets, in the nets, le numéro 31, number 31, Grant Pure. À la défense, en défense, le numéro 2, number 2, Doug Crossman. Le numéro 77, number 77, Paul Coffey. À l'aile gauche, on left wing, le numéro 16, number 16, Michel Goulet. À l'aile droite, on right wing, le numéro 21, number 21, Brent Sutter. Au centre, at center, le numéro 99, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Les instructeurs de coaches pour l'équipe de la Tchécoslovaquie, the head coach, Dr. Jan Starší. Son adjoint, the assistant coach, František Pospisil. Pour l'équipe du Canada, l'entraîneur-chef, the head coach, Mr. Mike Keenan. Les entraîneurs adjoints, the assistant coaches, M. Jean Perron, John Buckler et Tom Watt. Maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, voici les personnalités qui procéderont à la mise au jeu protocolaire du match de ce soir. Now introducing the members of the official party for tonight's ceremonial face-off. C'est avec fierté que Canadian Tire accorde son appui au sport en général partout au Canada, à partir du hockey mineur jusqu'aux Olympiques d'hiver de Calgary de 1988. Canadian Tire is a proud supporter of sports for people of all ages in communities across Canada, from the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association to the Calgary 1988 Olympics. Représentant le hockey mineur, representing the grassroots of hockey, de l'Association de hockey mineur de Laval Sud, from minor hockey in Laval, Marc-André Thibault. Représentant le monde de l'olympisme, une membre de l'équipe de patinage de fantaisie du Canada, representing the Olympic world from the Canadian Olympic figure skating team, Elizabeth Manley. Représentant Canadian Tire from the Canadian Tire Company, Monsieur Pierre Couture. Représentant la brasserie Labatt, commanditaire de la Coupe Canada, Monsieur Alain Gay, directeur des projets pour la brasserie. J'inviterai les deux capitaines pour la mise au jeu protocolaire, the two captains for the official face-off. Et comme c'est la coutume au hockey international, les capitaines des deux équipes procéderont maintenant à un échange de cadeaux au nom de leurs équipes. Mesdames et messieurs, voulez-vous maintenant, s'il vous plaît, vous lever et vous joindre à Madame Odile Fay, accompagnée à l'orgue par Diane Bibeau, pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux. Would you please now rise and join Miss Odile Fay, accompanied at the organ by Miss Diane Bibeau, for the national anthems.
It's Canada and Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Back at the Forum in Montreal, Canada against Czechoslovakia. The winner of this game to meet the Soviet Union in the Canada Cup final. Grant Fuhr, as he has in all previous games, starts for Canada tonight.
Well, the scratchers for Czechoslovakia, Drahomir Kadlec, along with Peter Volk. Both of them, Volk is out with a rib injury. Kadlec is an extra man. And Grant Fuhr in goal with that 2.60 goals against average. He has been superb in this Canada Cup.
And at the other end, Dominik Hasek, fine young goaltender for Czechoslovakia. And he'll be facing a star-studded Team Canada lineup.
Grant Fuhr's backup tonight will be Kelly Rudy. Hextall not dressed. Kevin Dineen is injured. So is Rick Tocchet. So it'll be kind of a makeshift lineup for Mike Keenan tonight. He's been faced with this the last couple of games now, as the injuries beginning to take their toll, not only for Canada but for other teams here in the Canada Cup. It's been a tough kind of a series.
Hasek to our left, Fuhr to our right. Hrdina will face off with Gretzky, and this sudden death semifinal game is about to begin. Gretzky with Brent Sutter and Michel Goulet. Koppe and Doug Crossman on defense. It is Hrdina, Volek, and Dolezal for Czechoslovakia. Bošík on defense, and he fires it in. Bošík and Banach are on the Czech defense. Now, here's a whack at it by Volek, wide of Team Canada's goal. Crossman clearing it. Goulet can't get it out. Bošík pinching in very aggressively from his right defense spot. Good in center, and here's Gretzky. Nice little move. Now Crossman failed the first time. On the second try, clears it, and back for Czechoslovakia, and firing it out into the center ice area is Paul Koppe. Koppe for Brent Sutter. Down the ice it goes. Bošík, number 28, back to get it. Gretzky intercepts. Gretzky centers, pass behind Goulet. And Bošík flat on the ice, trying to poke it out of there. Held in by Canada, but now on the second try, shot into center ice. Koppe almost lost it to Hrdina. Here's Crossman to Goulet. Gretzky into forecheck, but they cleared around to Bošík, now to Volek. And Volek into center ice to Hrdina, number 24. Hrdina tied up by James Patrick. Patrick, number 6, flips it out on the boards. Staviana pinching in. Held it in. Here's Volek centering one across. And Liba was checked before he could shoot by Patrick. And Czechoslovakia back up into their own zone. Staviana fired it to center. Rochefort shoots it back in. Here's number 11, Igor Liba. Lead pass to Hasek. Stick save, Fuhr. On a breakaway backhand try by Hasek. And Fuhr held on to it. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Things that are important for Team Canada are those early saves by Grant Fuhr. This is a pass that hits Hasek on the fly over the line. That's Rochefort, who's caught, looking just to hurry the shot if he can. A backhand shot by Hasek. There's Hasek right there. Dusan Hasek.
Headed for the Minnesota North Stars, apparently, after the coming Olympics. Here's Hasek on a faceoff, gets it to Liba to Staviana. Right on. Fuhr another save. And then it's cleared out of there by Brian Propp. Hasek back to get it. Claude Lemieux knocked him off the puck. And back comes Sheva. He's checked by Lemieux, who fires it in. Sherban, number 7 for Czechoslovakia. Over to the heady defenseman, Staviana. Couldn't clear it. Bork held it in. His shot wide, and now Sherban around on the boards, and here's Staviana to Liba, number 11. Cleared to center. Intercepting it is Larry Murphy. Over to Raymond Bork, number 7. Into center ice, Staviana. Intercepts. Now Mario Lemieux gets it for Canada. Mario Lemieux trying to get it in front to Claude Lemieux. Knocked aside by Hasek. He just got a piece of it with his goal stick. Here's Liba. Dropping it to Staviana. Return to number 11, Igor Liba. Now to Hasek, who had the breakaway earlier, number 21. Liba fires it in, a bouncer that gave Fuhr difficulty. And here's Hartsburg for Canada, out to Messier. Messier checked at center ice. Puck comes to Horseshoe at the Czech blue line to Chaika, number 6. Tried to shoot it in. Bork knocks it away. Now Messier backhanding it in, but number 4, Horseshoe over to Chaika. Ludek Chaika on the boards, pinned in there by Doug Gilmore. Now Rochelle, number 10, over to Ruzicka, and flipping it in wide is Chaika. Here's a loose puck. Fjord out of there. Got back in to stop the shot by Lubina as Fjord got caught out. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Guess you got to be a little lucky in this game too. Grant Fuhr got all messed up when he was outside the net there, and the puck came right to Lubina, who let it go. He could see the open net. Grant Fuhr could see it too, and he immediately got out there, and I guess if Lubina had kind of buried it rather than try to ease it into the net, he might have got it in there, but he slid it along the ice, and it allowed Fuhr to get back and put a stick on it and corral it.
Brent Sutter winning a face-off for Canada. Cleared around onto the boards for Gretzky. Gretzky couldn't get it out. Here's Ruzicka trying to center to Rochelle, but Gretzky intercepts and flips to Michel Goulet. Here's Goulet trying to get around Horseshoe. Into Brent Sutter. To Gretzky in front, but he was too well checked. And Czechoslovakia with Ruzicka, number 17. Ruzicka trying to stick handle in, does, shoots, shot it wide, and then Goulet clears it. Held in at the point by Horseshoe. Centered in front. Rochelle was there but couldn't get a stick on it as Ruzicka centered it. Now Lubina back on the point to Boschik. Shoots one. That's wide. Here's Horseshoe. Tied up by Gretzky. Gretzky can't clear it. Now Paul Coffey flipping it to Wayne Gretzky. Chipped it, but Horseshoe held it in. Czechoslovakia on the attack. Ruzicka checked by Coffey. Grossman now to Gretzky to Brent Sutter with Coffey and Goulet. 3-on-1 break. Sutter to Goulet. Upended in front of the net. And there'll be a penalty to Czechoslovakia on the play. Yashko, number 12, upending Goulet. And a penalty to Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt Canada.
Yashko goes off for hooking there. Good penalties and bad penalties. This was a completely messed up change at the bench, and Yashko was late coming off. And now he tries to get back into the play, and with Goulet cold in front of the goaltender, he had absolutely no choice. Yashko goes off, and Team Canada is struggling very early, being outshot 5-1 right now. Now go on the power play.
Canada on the power play, 6 for 22 in this tournament, a 27% with the man advantage. Here's Bork, dropping one to Messier. Mark Messier, number 11. Leaving it for Gretzky to Paul Coffey. Shooting, that's wide of the target. In there is Messier. To Mario Lemieux to Raymond Bork. A drive wide by about 6 inches. Coffey to Gretzky, but intercepted and cleared away by Czechoslovakia. Banach, number 9, got a stick on it. 1:28 left in the penalty. Canada with Coffey through center. In across the line. Staviana cleared it. Gretzky held it in. Here's Gretzky over to Coffey. Coffey couldn't hold it in the zone. And Liba clears it for Czechoslovakia. This is Bork, number 7. Just dumping it in. 1:05 left in the penalty to Czechoslovakia. Messier. Liba cleared it. Bork held it in up high off the glass. Now Gretzky. But Poshak intercepts, has Liba with him. Shorthanded try for Poshak. Poshak trying to dig in. Now centered out in front. Liba shot over top of the net from point-blank range off a stick, I think, and up over the glass. And a close call there for Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Play just underway. Canada on a power play. Here's Dale Howardchuk out in front. Save made by Poshak. And then a loose puck is covered up on by the Czech defenseman, number 6, Ludek Chaika. And we get a stoppage in play. Wayne Gretzky at the Team Canada bench. Wayne and all of the Team Canada members want us to say hello to Robbie, who's in Montreal Children's Hospital. They have advice for Robbie. They say, do what you're told and eat your meals. And that's from Wayne Gretzky and the rest of the Team Canada players to Robbie.
Great chance in front of the net on Howardchuk as he hooked it around and threw it through a screen. But again, Hasek, who's a kind of a butterfly-style goaltender, in good position to make the save.
Still 22 seconds left in the penalty to Yashko. Here's Canada with Bourque at the point. Dropping it back to Larry Murphy. Centered it across to Anderson. Shot right on. Brock the rebound. And Hasek flat on the ice. Just able to get his leg on it and freeze it there. Big, big chance there for Canada. Their best of the game.
Well, all of the predictions are holding forth here. The goaltending very good in the first period. Hasek here. Watch his movement in the goal mouth. Down in that butterfly style. Now he seems out of position, but the big leg is out there. And you have to get it up, I guess, if you're to get it past this young fella. They say shoot high on a butterfly goaltender. Plus, if he's sprawling there, you definitely want to get it up.
Hasek, a former draft choice of the Chicago Blackhawks, as many of these Czechoslovak players have been drafted by NHL clubs. Here's Patrick de Bourque at the point. Shot off a skate and cleared out by Kuchera, number 14. The penalty is now expired, and Czechoslovakia back at full strength. Here's Kuchera, number 14. Dropping it to Bolshik, number 28. Shot up the ice, and Propp knocks it to Glenn Anderson. Anderson moving in around one man, but couldn't get the shot off as he was checked at the last second. And now Czechoslovakia break out into center ice. Kuchera, number 24, checked from behind. Howardchuk back the other way to Glenn Anderson. Anderson cuts in. Hasek a save as Anderson then crashes into the Team Czechoslovakia goaltender. And then we get some pushing in front of the net.
Dale Howardchuk, who has got a slight shoulder separation, suffered in the last game, but Howardchuk, we're also seeing one of the rare occasions in this tournament where he's playing center ice, and that line seemed to move the puck very well, Dan. Anderson out there along with Propp had a couple of good scoring chances. Here he comes in with a good wrist shot up. Hasek just kind of covering the angle and handling that in his pads.
This program is protected by copyright. Any use of this telecast without permission is prohibited. Here's a loose puck cleared into center ice. Norman Rochefort has it there, number 5. Rochefort from the Quebec Nordiques to Michel Goulet, his Nordique teammate, but the play is offside at Team Czechoslovakia's blue line.
Michel Goulet has been troubled by a bit of a knee problem, but he's okay now, they say. He missed a game. Goulet trying to get his game in gear and get that vaunted scoring power of his going. And hasn't been much of a factor so far in the tournament, but of course the big games are coming. And one thing we know about Michel Goulet is he can unload on you, and he does it. When he does unload, it usually is in big numbers.
He's out there right now on left wing with Gretzky at center. Brent Sutter on right wing, number 21. They drop it back into Team Canada zone. Rochefort trying to flip it out of there. Got it to center. Sutter to Goulet, but hustling back and clearing it quickly out of there was Lubina. All the way down the ice. Rochefort back for the touch. It's icing against Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt, Canada.
Talking to the coach of Czechoslovakia, Jan Starcy, prior to the game, and he's saying, you know, you come over here and you have an immense disadvantage, and he listed a number of them, and he's right. This team doesn't seem to dwell on it too much. They almost feed on those disadvantages, use them to get themselves up for the game.
So far, no score. Chaika over to Horsheva. Shot into center ice, and now Sheva leaving it for Poshak. Poshak to Leva. Goulet just had him tied up enough, but he couldn't get a stick on it. Centered to Poshak, missed him. Now Chaika into Poshak. That's Goulet tying him up. Chaika pinching in from the point. Firing it around behind the net. Sheva centered. Oh, Poshak shoots, he scores! Dusan Poshak, and it's 1-0 for Czechoslovakia.
Well, they have the lead, and they have worked very hard to get this lead. They took a big early edge, a power play, got Canada back in the game. Goulet just saved a goal moments before. Poshak sets it up in front. This time the forward was not back there. Goulet allowed the man to elude him. Here comes the pass across in front. Goulet reaching, not able to corral Poshek the open side.
Poshek's 4th goal of this Canada Cup. Here's a loose puck. Claude Lemieux racing in, and Poshek came out and covered up on it. And we'll get a face-off, and Team Czechoslovakia is into the ring.
6 seconds.
Poshek from Liba and Sheva, 8:06 the time, 1-0 for Czechoslovakia.
Well, one thing they're doing, Dan, is they're really throwing the puck around, and they're working their patterns to perfection inside the Team Canada zone. So while everybody said Canada was going to improve in this tournament as it went along, obviously so is Czechoslovakia.
Here's Dolezal, got it into the zone. Hrdina carried in, but Volek was in ahead of the play and offside. So Czechoslovakia take the early lead, 1-0. And there is perhaps the best known of the future NHLers, Jerzy Hrdina, headed for the Calgary Flames.
He'll be the first one of this group to come to the National Hockey League right after the Olympics. He'll be joining the Calgary Flames. Some of the others won't be coming to North America until the start of the following season. Hrdina bringing his family over, as a matter of fact, for the Olympics, and then just staying on.
They tell me he was apartment hunting in Calgary when we were out there for the Canada Cup. Here's the loose puck. Dolezal shooting it into Team Canada zone. Rochefort back to get it, and Canada try and work it out of there. Here's Glenn Anderson to James Patrick. Patrick from Winnipeg, Manitoba, a member of the Rangers, trying to center it, broken up and then called because of the puck being hit by a high stick, and we get a stoppage in play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Face-off coming up deep in Team Czechoslovakia's end of the rink. 11:13 left in the first period. Messier, Gartner, and Glenn Anderson now Canada's forward line. Here's Staviana, very heady, good puck-handling defenseman for Czechoslovakia, but he copped it up there, but then as Anderson centered it, Czechoslovakia able to get possession again, and now they try and clear it up. Joshko, number 12, gets it by Rochefort, and Patrick has it for Canada. To Rochefort, into center ice, intercepting is Boschik, or Polak, intercepted, and now a delayed penalty coming up against Canada. Here's Czechoslovakia centering it. Staviana lets Ruzicka take it. Shot blocked by Rochefort, and now the delayed penalty against Canada for tripping. And Czechoslovakia, with a 1-0 lead, now will also have a power play opportunity as Canada will be penalized.
Mike Gardner coming across the ice put the knee into a Czechoslovak player in the center ice zone. Kind of poked his legs out from underneath him, and that's the reason for the penalty. Canada starting to pick it up a little bit, starting to forecheck, and caused a couple of turnovers, something they hadn't been successfully able to do inside Czechoslovakian territory. Here it comes. Watch the top of your screen. Here, just threw the leg in underneath him, and right in front of Mike Noeth, who called it.
Czechoslovakia with the man advantage. They've had 5 goals and 23 opportunities in the power play, a 22% success rate. And here is Ruzicka firing it in. Pure out to play it around to Bork. Bork played it high off the glass, and down the ice it goes. Horsheva, number 4, back to pick it up. Quickly up the middle to Hrdina. Trying to hit Ruzicka. That's intercepted by Bork. Canada trailing and shorthanded at this point. Bork to Howardchuk. Missed him. Down the ice it goes. Horsheva back after it. Messier knocked him flying. Messier with a big hit. Oh, did he knock the Czech player Horsheva flying. Here's Ruzicka. His pass intercepted. And now it's dumped back in by Canada. 1 minute left in the penalty, and a 9.9 hit by Messier.
Whoa, the Czech of the tournament, without a doubt.
Dumped in by Czechoslovakia. And back comes Gretzky, leaving it for Rochefort. Rochefort. With Canada shorthanded, dropping it back, and Patrick fires it down the ice. Knocked down by Boschik. Gretzky tried to steal it. Now here comes Poshek number 21. Centers to Bolshik. Back to Pashek. Shot. Pure the save. Sheva after the rebound. Tried to center. Bolshik couldn't hold it in and has to hustle back after it. And then when he does fire it up, it's called back on a two-line offside.
Oh, I can't believe that check that Messier threw on Horshova. He's tough, of course. We all know about Mark Messier. Going back now to pick it up as Horshova. Here comes Messier. Clean check. And Horshova did not know where he was when he was getting up. He completely disoriented. Looked the wrong way. Was trying to get straightened out. He went flying into the boards.
Let's see if that turns the tide Canada's way. They're trailing 1-0, still shorthanded. 15 seconds left in the penalty. Back for Czechoslovakia in their own zone. Sherban, number 7. Leaving it there. Now they drop it back under Dina. Drops it back deeper behind his own goal, and then they just fire it to center. Here's Bolak after it, but Pure away out of the net. Clears to Anderson. Now Herdina intercepting. Canada back at full strength. Here's Herdina, but Bork is there to knock it away. Now cleared on the boards. Messier lets Anderson take it, and Anderson fires it down the ice. Dolezal against Gartner. Gartner, another big, strong guy for Canada, up for checking. But Czechoslovakia break out. Here's Sherban, number 7, with a booming shot. Wide of the net. Larry Murphy poking it to Glenn Anderson. Dolezal knocks it back in. And then as he does, the play is offside at Team Canada's blue line.
Well, Glenn Anderson of the Edmonton Oilers, who had his problems early with injuries, just getting his game together right now. 30-plus goals each of his last 7 seasons. States there. Part of the 1980 Olympic team. Played for Blair Drake and Tom Watt. And there's Horshova heading for the dressing room. He's still trying to shake the cobwebs out.
With memories of Mark Messier still dancing in his
stamped
head.
on his forehead, I think.
Puck shot in by Czechoslovakia, or by Canada. Bolshik is there to try and clear it out. Block, number 27. Now they get it into center ice, and down left wing comes Kuchera, number 14. Claude Lemieux checks in to Mario Lemieux. Has Propp with him. Mario Lemieux shooting. Save made by Hasek. And then I think Mario's stick came up and caught Hasek, and he's shaken up on the play.
May have come up under his throat, and then Hasek went down as if he didn't have enough. Then he had Claude Lemieux fall all over the top of him. So it was just a rough ride as far as Dominic Hasek was concerned. Deceptive speed of Mario Lemieux. He seems to get the jump on the defense. Now up comes the stick. Down comes Lemieux and a Czechoslovak teammate. Get a better view of it here, perhaps. Watch him shield that puck. He protects it so well with that size of his. There's a reach looking for that loose puck. Now they all pile in.
Go to the net. They were going there.
Canada starting to pick it up a little bit. I think they came out in this game either nervous or flat. Whatever it was, they were in trouble through the first 10 minutes of the first period, but it looks a little better now than it did. They're trailing 1-0.
Here's Mario Lemieux to Propp. Back on the point. Backhanded pass by Larry Murphy. Claude Lemieux to Mario Lemieux, but Hasek knocks it away, and Sherban clears to center. Murphy for Canada to Paul Coffey. Back to Murphy. Just over 7 minutes left in the first period. Canada behind 1-0. Here's Stabiana, tied up by Brian Propp, but they're going to rule Stabiana touched the puck, and as a result, it's going to be icing against Canada.
Propp doesn't think it should be.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Sometimes I think linesmen just call these plays because people are in the vicinity. Now watch the stick here, and there's Propp touching the puck, and the linesman then immediately blew it and said that was icing. Put it back down the other end of the ice. No wonder Propp was upset.
Canada winning the face-off, moving it to center ice. Gretzky checked by Chaika. Now over to Sheva, number 22. Czechoslovakia leading 1-0. They drop it for Bainok, number 9. Now into center ice, picked up by Leba. Here's Leba, number 11. taken out nicely by Bork, and Howardchuk shoots it to center ice. Now Banach firing it back in. Bork back for Canada. Bork losing it. Here's Leba. Gets turned around looking for a man. They score! From the point. A blast by Banach, number 9. And it is 2-0. Actually, Chaika let it go, and it's 2-0 for Czechoslovakia. And Canada facing an uphill battle now.
Just a bad pass by Bork caused the turnover inside the zone. They set it up very quickly back to the blue line. And here it is, a low shot. Pure having to worry a little bit about the player that's positioning himself in front of the net. That's Sheba, number 22. And drawn off the angle just a little bit. He left that one side open. And 2-0. And Mike Keenan is going to have to look for some magic because it is going to be tough.
It was Banach, as we said, who scored the goal. They were congratulating Chaika. That's what confused us. But Banach gets the goal. It's 2-0 Czechoslovakia. Here's Turdina to Volek. He can't get it in front. Now does Czechoslovakia's Dolezal shot. Patrick stops that, and it's quickly cleared into center ice. Here's Sherban to Volek. Rochefort tying him up, and Patrick has it for Canada. Rink wide for Glenn Anderson. Into center ice to Messier. Stabiana took him out, and Sherban, number 7, leaves it there. Stabiana cleared it to center ice. Here's Dolezal dropping it in. Stabiana carries up ice. Moves in, upended by Patrick, but dumped it in anyway. Rochefort for Canada. Out on right wing, and Gartner feeds Glenn Anderson. Anderson to Messier, just couldn't handle the pass. Right back comes Kuchera, number 14. Leaving it for Flock. Flock in front. Tied up, and Murphy cleared it away in a hurry. Here's Anderson shooting it to center. Dumped back in. Yoshko races after it. And Coffey takes Bure's pass. Now to Mario Lemieux. He's checked. Here's Kuchera to Flock. Flock to Kuchera. He was open but didn't get a stick on the ice. Yoshko taken out by Mario Lemieux, and now Murphy for Canada. Loses to Kuchera, number 14. Kuchera trying to center one. Claude Lemieux breaks out for Canada. Lemieux, number 32, but it's offside at the Team Czechoslovakia blue line.
The Labatt player of the game for Czechoslovakia will receive a set of 10 Olympic coins, compliments of Canadian Tire, an official supplier to the Calgary 1988 Olympic Winter Games, and a few dreams along the way. Canadian Tire.
The scoring play for Czechoslovakia to make it 2-0. Banach is second of the tournament. Leba and Sheba assisting. 13:41 the time, and a concerned Mike Keenan at the Team Canada bench.
Well, Canada has been loose in their own end. They've been this way through much of the tournament. Czechoslovakia really exploiting it, as they did in Game 1, where the defense and the defensive style that Canada had set up. And I don't want to single out defense in this because it's a team effort. Led to a number of goals scored by Czechoslovakia.
Here's Canada with prop to Howardchuk, centered. Oh, and scooped wide by Claude Lemieux, and then he crashes into Hasek. And Hasek has had more hits against him in this game than I'm sure he sees in a season in his native land.
Well, they're piling into the goal mouth area in the offensive zone. Canada is trying to create something, just not clicking. Claude Lemieux going for the net. Here comes the pass by Howardchuk. Lemieux's right there. He had the right idea. He managed to elude the defenseman, Sherban. And then he deflected it just wide of the net.
2-0, 4:12 left in the first period. Shots on goal, by the way, are dead even at 9 apiece. Howardchuk. Now, just as we go to point out Canada's line, they make a change at the last second. Over the boards, Mario Lemieux with Goulet and Brent Sutter. Face-off deep in Czechoslovakia's end of the rink. Won by Poshek, but controlled by Canada. And then a good play by Sheba, but he couldn't get it out. Mario Lemieux to Goulet. Shooting Sutter, a poke at the rebound. Poshek able to stop that. And again, Canada crowding that Czechoslovakia goal crease.
And I think Hasek a little lucky on that one. He's shaking his head a bit too. He's got a deflection that I think hit him on the inside of the leg and dropped down between his legs. He just sat down on it. Good deflection on the play as Goulet picked up the puck. Number 16 getting it from Lemieux. Here comes the shot. That deflects in front of the net and just dropped down right in between the legs. Right idea again. Get in front of him. Stir it up a little bit. Put the pressure on him. Eventually maybe he'll work one past Hasek. But the one thing that Canada had to worry about in what in effect is a sudden death game is that guy right there, a hot goaltender.
Canada made a late change. That was allowed. And then Czechoslovakia tried to counter with a late change, but the referee Mike Noah say no, sir.
The last change belongs to Team Canada here, the home team for this particular game.
Messier is going to be out there with Mario Lemieux and Gretzky. One thing about Team Canada, they're down 2-0, but they have some firepower to come back from a situation like this. I mean, you see a line on the ice such as Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Messier, you know what I mean.
With a language problem here, Jan Starcy and his assistant coach, František Pospisil, neither speaks English. They speak German. That's how we managed to communicate with them prior to the game. Kind of halting German, may I say.
Here's Messier on a face-off to Gretzky. Now to Messier. Tied up behind the net. Messier getting his stick up against the man checking him, who is Chaika. And now Czechoslovakia carry out of there. Lead pass to Rochelle. Bourque intercepts to Messier. He dumps it in for Mario Lemieux. Chaika there. Now Gretzky steals it. Gretzky in front. Put it right through the crease. Nobody could get a stick on it. And now Messier will get a penalty for pulling down Lubina from behind. And Canada's problems mount here. They trail 2-0, and now they're going to be shorthanded.
Messier behind the play tried to. That's the kind of penalty I just don't think the coach is really going to appreciate too much. In the offensive zone, player coming out, hooked from behind. Canada's not playing a smart hockey game here tonight. Part of this could be the pressures we mentioned of sudden death, pressures of the way things have gone in the tournament. I think they're going to very much need that period between the first and second periods to regroup.
Doug Gilmour wins the face-off. He's out as a penalty killer along with Mike Gartner. Bainock, who got Team Czechoslovakia's second goal, firing it in front. Canada in there forechecking. Gilmour couldn't get it, and now back comes Czechoslovakia with Sheba, number 22. He's checked and fired away by Gartner for Canada. That up to Liba. Liba, lead pass to Sheba. Sheba taken out by Rochefort, and Patrick is back after it. He fell down. Now trying to fire it, hits the referee. Czechoslovakia got it, but Gilmour broke that up, trying to clear it. Liba held it in. To Bainock, to Boschik. Fires around in the boards. Liba. Back on the point to Bainock. To Boschik. To Poshek, centered. Gilmour got a stick on it and deflects it up into the crowd. 1:06 left in the penalty. 2:39 left in the period. 2-0 in favor of Czechoslovakia.
Poshek and Bainock picked up the goals, but on both of the goals, a combination of Liba and Sheba. They are the assistors on the two goals, and in both instances, they were the ones that created the turnover in the Team Canada zone that led to the goal. In the foreground there, talking to his defenseman, František Pospisil, who is a great defenseman for Czechoslovakia over a lot of years, and actually a member and the team captain of the first Czechoslovak team Canada Cup team back in 1976.
Here's Gretzky for Canada, breaking in. was upended, no penalty called. Some of the fans thought one should have been. Canada still short-handed, but digging in there is Brent Sutter wrestling around with number 7, Sherban, and Sutter forces a face-off in Czechoslovakia's end of the ring.
Different Canada Cup for Brent Sutter. Remember the stardom, the terrific play of 1984. Forced to play on a wing when he's a centerman. He's just not the same hockey player when he's been misemployed through this tournament. Sutter and Sherban going up against the boards, battling for the puck. That's, of course, a familiar sight with a Sutter. You never get anything away from a Sutter easily.
Here's Hrdina, number 24. Here's Hrdina, back to Staviana. Over to the other point to Sherban. Now into Dolezal. Back around behind the net, but taken by Canada and cleared out of there by Bork with 20 seconds left in the penalty. Here's Polak, number 19 for Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia still with 10 seconds worth of power play left. Lead pass to Ruzicka. Dropping it back for Lubina. Round to Ruzicka. Out in front. Comes to Benock. Shoots one. That deflects. Knocked down by Bork. Penalized player Messier back on. Crossman trying to get it up for Messier, but it's intercepted. Rochelle clearing it back in, and Crossman back again for Canada. Now Claude Lemieux to Messier. Messier has Mario Lemieux with him. Messier shoots wide by about a foot. Comes to Coffey at the point. High off the glass with that drive. Mario Lemieux and Benock battle. Now Messier to Mario Lemieux, put it in front, off the skate, and a breakaway pass for Ruzicka. Coffey gets back and tied him up. The speed of Coffey to come back from nowhere and catch Ruzicka. Now Mario Lemieux to Messier. Messier moves in. His shot blocked on a good defensive play by Bouchy. Claude Lemieux trying to center. And then it is Lubina working it out into center ice. Big defensive play moments ago by Coffey. And now the goaltender Hoshek is down on the ice, and he's been injured. And I didn't see what happened to him.
Now we're all following the puck as it was coming out of the zone. It would appear that something dumped Hoshek, and he's a little shaken up. And one of the trailers on that play was Claude Lemieux, and every time you see him trailing a play, you always suspect the worst. I don't know why we do that, but he seems to be all right. Watch this now. Let's take a look at what happened. Watch Lemieux. We were right. Here he comes. And, oh, isn't that nice?
Well, it wasn't a knockout punch, but Hoshek has learned to do the job well.
That was the best shot.
Low to something else. Nobody saw it, including the referee. And I don't even think Hoshek felt very much of it because there was a glancing jab, to say the least. Here's Staviana shooting it in. 28 seconds left in the period. Coffey back there for Canada. Canada trailing 2-0 as it's flipped by Murphy to Goulet. Here's Goulet cutting in. Goulet in front. And Hoshek slid across, made the save, and smothered it before Mario Lemieux could get a stick on it.
Hoshek is killing Team Canada. They have had all kinds of chances, and he has just been far, far too much for them to handle. Now here's Goulet trying to go to the forehand, but Lemieux is there as well. We got a quick whistle on this, but Lemieux actually poked it right in underneath, and whistle went right about that point. Again, Goulet trying to get that little edge, but a pretty good defensive play coming back on part of Sheba. And then loose puck lies there. Hoshek just covered up the goal mouth by sprawling.
15 seconds left in the period. Go ahead, Ron.
Start getting it up a little bit. I think they're kind of sliding it into Hoshek. He's been sprawling a lot more. He's used that butterfly. Tony Esposito, Yuri Halicek, who was a great goaltender for the Czechoslovakia. He's the one that he copied his style from. And there's Mario Lemieux.
Big Mario, the Pittsburgh Penguins star. Here's Coffey at the point. He was checked by Poshek, though, and then as it's dumped in by Canada, it's offside. 9 seconds left in the period. Meanwhile, forget about the saves that Poshek has made. How about the defensive play Coffey made to catch Ruzicka, who could have had a breakaway?
That was a great play, and the only thing that saved that, I think, outside of Coffey's speed, was the fact that the puck was mishandled at center ice as it came out to center ice. Ruzicka trying to stay on side. Reminder, coming up at our first intermission, Mike Gartner is going to be around from Team Canada. We'll have highlights with Brad Park, the Toyota scoreboard, all of that in the first intermission with Dan Matheson.
Here's Leva with Poshek, 2-on-1 break. To Poshek, to Leva, just missed at the edge of the crease, and Mario Lemieux cleared it. And the first period comes to an end here at the Forum in Montreal. Canada outshoot Czechoslovakia 13-9, but 2 goals by Poshek and Bainok. And great goaltending by that man, Hoshek. Czechoslovakia with a 2-0 lead.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to solve the problem of Dominik Hasek the next 2 periods, and it's an uphill climb when you're down in international hockey 2-0.
Czechoslovakia 2.
"20 minutes gone at the Forum in Montreal. Canada trailing Czechoslovakia